Work EBSN. And Josh Gessner gets things underway this evening. He starts with a strike at the knees on the Riot Hawks lead-off hitter, Travis Pizzana. So he's ahead, no balls and one strike. Down in the dirt for strike two on the swing. Gessner ahead quickly, no balls and two strikes. They're underway here at Aquatic. It's round 16 of the New South Wales State League. Manly Eagles 11 wins and 13 losses on the season and one draw to their name. Currently sitting in 5th place, 2 games behind Borkham Hills. This poses a very important game for the Eagles tonight, especially with rain threatening on the weekend.
And don't forget, folks, if there's a foul ball over the fence, you retrieve it, take it to 3rd place, give it to the man who guys and get it to.
And that ball just missing outside. First ball of this at bat for young Travis Pizzana. A ball and 2 strikes. We'll bring you the lineups at the end of this half inning for both teams. So the Riot Hawks sitting in 2nd position. 12 wins, 8 losses and 2 draws to date on the season. They had their game on Saturday called short because of lighting issues, as Pizzana loosed that ball into left field and taken there by Josh Beasley, and that's the first out of the inning.
And that brings us to plate number 57, Nick Dimmers.
Nick Dimmers, the next man up for the Hawks.
Hi, Nicky!
Guess they're starting with the strike at the knees, ahead again here. No balls and 1 strike. A pitch just missing down for ball 1. And that ball's fouled off. 1 ball and 1 strike for the Riot left fielder. 1 ball and 2 strikes, sorry, on the Riot left fielder.
Grab your mitt, feeling. Because that's where they're going to go over the fence over that way. Where all those kids are. Good. We're good.
And they do it for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Oh, Nicky!
And that's strike 3 for Nick Dimmers, home plate umpire this evening.
And that brings to plate number 37,
Keith Lehman,
Matt O'Neill.
forgetting it was 2 strikes. Punched out Nick Dimmers on strike 3, 2nd out of the inning. In the field this evening is Billy Green, the umpiring crew for tonight's game. So Matt O'Neill now for the Hawks. Fouls the first pitch he sees. Adam Torpey moving underneath it. Makes a catch, and that's 3 quick outs here to get this game underway. We'll bring you the lineups now. It's going to be the visitors, the Riot Hawks. Leading off, you saw the shortstop, Travis Pizzana. Nick Dimmers striking out. He plays left field. Matt O'Neill with the fly ball there to Aidan Torpey. He's in the designated hitter role this evening. Travis Tanaka is the catcher. Tyler Schmidt in centre field. Dan Mermel at third base. A late change. It was Baz Matthews to start, but it's now Dan Lee. He takes his place at first base. Harry Mahoney in right field. And Lewis Back, who plays second base for the Eagles. It's Jalen Ray leading things off at shortstop. Treg Havercorn at centre field. Connor McDonald at first base. Aidan Torpey at third. Yoshi Umezawa at second. Nelson Phillips in the designated hitter role this evening. Jules Kremer in the 7 hole and doing the catching. Josh Beasley in left field and Gabriel Matto in right field. And you saw the starting pitcher for the Eagles is Josh Gessner. And for the Hawks, it will be number 6, Ben McKendall.
I think
Which one?
it's like the camera mics are on, so we can hear through that, so we can hear everything you say.
No, it's not on though.
It is. I can hear it.
So it must be. Okay, good. You still there? Just?
Yeah.
And leading off for your Manly Eagles tonight, number 12.
So Jalen Ray for the Eagles leading things off, bottom of the first inning. And he starts with a swing and miss. Ben McKendall ahead. No balls and 1 strike. It's a nice healthy crowd in attendance this evening. A lot of the Manly Intermediate League players coming up and having dinner at the canteen. Loaded potato night at the ballpark. Succulent stuffed potatoes with bacon and chicken. We haven't had ours delivered yet, so we'll make sure that happens. As Jalen Ray takes the 3-1 from Ben McKendall, foul. So 3 balls and 2 strikes for the Manly shortstop. Hard chopper there to Bazana at short. Big collect and throw across the diamond. Good play there by young Travis Bazana for the first out. Gets the speedy Jalen Ray. First out of the bottom of the first inning. Manly centre fielder now. Treg Habercorn steps in. Late acquisition to the Manly roster. Arriving just before the Christmas break. Squeezed in a couple of games against the Canterbury Vikings. And is loving his time here down under. He takes the first pitch from Ben McKendall for a ball. That pitch on the knees for strike 1. Not able to be handled by Travis Tanaka. 1 ball and a strike now. That pitch up from McKendall 2 balls and 1 strike. These two teams meeting back in November in round 9 of the State League season. 3-1 now for Habercorn. Ben McKendall got the start. He went 4 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, struck out 6, and led the Ride side to a 8-5 win. Travis Bazana with 3 hits. Tyler Schmidt and Travis Tanaka both with a pair of hits, as long with Griffin Andrejchuk, and Habercorn draws the walk. So Ben McKendall falling behind 3 balls and 1 strike on both occasions so far tonight. This time Habercorn's able to turn it into a walk. He'll be aboard with 1 out, and it's going to be Connor McDonald to step in. Josh Gessner getting the start on that Wednesday night game, as there's a pick-up attempt over at first. Habercorn back in time. Luke Livian and Brett Ardil finishing that game off, with Brett Ardil actually getting the win in the latter innings of that game. Manly tying the ball game up in the 5th inning, and then Ride Hawks running away with it in the bottom half of the inning to collect the 8-5 victory. Treg Habercorn with his 9th stolen base in his 8th game in the State League. So he's in scoring position early here for the Eagles. And for strike 2 on Connor McDonald. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Manly turned it around on the 16th of November. They were able to turn the tables on the Hawks, winning 12-9. Seesawing ball game as Connor McDonald fouls off the 1-2 pitch. Extends his at bat. Jules Kremer going 4 for 5 with 3 runs, a pair of RBIs. Adam Torpey knocking in 4. Shohei Arayama was very strong through 6 innings. Gave up a couple of runs late, but certainly put Manly in a good position for that one, with Luke Brown and Massa Endo closing it out. So the season series split at 1 apiece so far. And as I mentioned earlier, a pair of very important games for the Eagles coming up, with only 3 weeks left on the calendar. Ben McKendall just keeping Treg Habercorn close at second base. Doesn't want him extending any further than necessary. Ball in the dirt. Evens the count for McDonald. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a foul there from McDonald. Count will remain 2-2. And Connor lifts that one high, but foul over into the Ride Hawks bullpen. So 2 balls and 2 strikes still for Connor McDonald, going deep into this at bat, looking to give Manly the first run of the ball game. McDonald pulls that ball through the left side. It won't be enough for Habercorn to score, but he will move up. He's run straight through the stop sign at third, but there's no one at the base. Mermal, the cutoff man. Habercorn ran through the stop sign, but applied the brakes very quickly. So it's a single for Connor McDonald, and the Eagles will have runners on the corners. Still one out here in the bottom of the first inning. And down for ball one. So McKendall just struggling to locate his pitches here in the first inning. It's not something that he struggles with for a long time. So the Eagles will need to take this opportunity whilst they are being presented it and get themselves on the scoreboard. And Aidan Torpey looked to do exactly that, but that ball's gone foul. And a bunch of Forest junior baseballers are running after it for their canteen surprise. And it looks like one of the young Eagles Academy participants has it. So he's going to be happy. He's being chased down. And the count now 1 ball and 1 strike for Aidan Torpey. Check over at first for McDonald. So 1-1 the count remains. And that pitch is on the ground to Bazana. Picks it up, tosses to Lewis back. Coming across, he makes the first out, but it's not in the direction that it needed to be for the double play. Treg Habercorn scores. Aidan Torpey's aboard on the fielder's choice. And just like that, the Eagles certainly get that very important first run. They'll lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Nice play there by Travis Bazana, getting around it. Soft underhand toss to Lewis back at second base. But the momentum of the play just taking the second baseman out of the range and not able to throw the ball over to first to complete the twin killing. Yoshio Mizawa now bats with 2 out here. Bottom of the first. Takes the first pitch from McKendall for ball 1. Lifts that one high into the air, but it's going to be enough for Harry Mahoney. And he takes the catch, so that'll end the first. But the Eagles get on the board. It's 1-0 on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. Manly Eagles ahead. So with the catcher for the Hawks, Travis Tanaka, to lead things off. Top of the second inning here at Aquatic Ballpark. Pitch down in the dirt for ball one to start his first at bat of the night. Tanaka went 2 for 2 with 2 runs and an RBI in his last meeting against Josh Gessner. And that pitch misses down and away for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sorry, 2 balls and no strikes. Gessner missing down, so 3 balls and no strikes for Tanaka. Would guess if you're taking all the way here. Leadoff man. And Gessner finding his range there. 3 balls and 1 strike. Now, be looking to come all the way back, retire the leadoff, and get into the bottom half of the Manly Eagles lineup. And he does that. Ground ball up the middle. And a little bit of a top spin on that one. Bounces over the head of the 2 Manly pivots. And Tanaka's going to be aboard with an infield high chopper, just taking that aquatic hop over second base, and the Hawks will have their first base runner of the evening. So it'll be Tyler Schmidt now. Four for 7 in the last encounter in round 9 in the 2 games. And he lifts that ball high. Treg Habercorn underneath it. And that will be the first out. So the Eagles having trouble to retire Tyler Schmidt over at ELS. But guess Josh Gessner only needed 1 pitch to get him on this occasion. I'll bring up Dan Mermel for the Hawks. So a nice big crowd in attendance this evening. Intermediate kids have settled in. Plenty of spectators also. We also have a reunion of one of our legendary minor league teams in the form of the Warriors. We had the Godfathers here before Christmas in our power failure night against the Central Coast Marlins. So even though the game was done by 8:30, we were back here till probably 11:30 telling stories. So tonight it's the Godfather's turn, and a good turnout from the guys in red and blue. You'll notice Manly wearing red and blue socks tonight in honour of the in honour of the Warriors reunion. And we'll be chatting to a couple of those Warriors players throughout tonight's game. So 1 and 2 for Merble. No, 0 and 2 for Merble, rather. Guess I'm looking for the second out of the second inning, and he gets it on a curveball away. Very good pitch by Josh Gessner. So 2 out here. In the top of the second. And it's going to bring up Dan Lee for the Hawks. And he takes the pitch at the knees for strike one. And that certainly hurts out of the hand of Gessner. Looked like a change up though, so not as much velocity on it. But you can just ask Bob Crawford how much that one hurts. He was the unlucky recipient in the Wednesday night game against Ryde, copping one in the arm. It was great to see Bob Crawford back up and umpiring that weekend in the ABL. He was in very good hands on that occasion. We certainly wish him all the well in his retirement from the ABL and his imminent retirement from the State League following the end of this season. So Harry Mahoney bats with 2 out and 2 on here. And he takes the 1-0 pitch from Gessner for strike one. And Gessner ties the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. For 3 in the Wednesday night game last time. That pitch missing away from Gessner. 2 balls and a strike now. Looking to extend this inning for the Hawks and even get them on the scoreboard. Ground ball to Umazama at second. High throw to the tall Connor McDonald at first, and that'll extinguish the threat, and that'll end the top of the second inning. Manly Eagles 1, lead the Ryde Hawks 0. Nelson Phillips getting things started off here in the bottom of the second inning. Takes a big swing at the first offering from McKendall. strike one, and that pitch just missing low for ball one. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Ride manager Matt O'Neill thinking it might have been a strike, but Keith Lehman says no, ball 1, so 1 ball and 1 strike for Nelson Phillips. High fly ball over the right side. It's going to fall in the gap, and it's going to be caught. By Dan Lee, first baseman. Looked like I might have disappeared into the Bermuda Triangle out there, but not on this occasion, and that's the first out. So Jules Kremer shows bunt, but takes ball 1. Fouls off the second offering from the Kendall. So 1 ball and 1 strike for the Manly catcher. As I said, went 4 for 5 in the Saturday game against the Hawks. Went 0 for 1 with 2 walks in the midweek. So certainly some good results against the Hawks, but this time it'll be a ground ball to Lewis back at second base, and that'll be the second out of this bottom of the second. And it'll bring up Josh Beasley, left fielder tonight. Rod Van Buren unavailable due to work duties. Didn't think that would be that hard to say. So it's up to his young nephew to fill in tonight. Nelson Phillips getting the night off defensively. He gets the DH. And Josh takes his spot in left field. 1 ball and 1 strike now for the young Manly hitter. And a good night on Saturday night against the MacArthur Orioles. Picking up a couple of hits, scoring Manly's only 2 runs of the ball game. That pitch away for ball 2. The 7-2 scoreline not reflecting the tightness of the contest out there. MacArthur showed why they are 21 wins and 3 losses on the season, as Beasley puts a big charge into that one. But straight up and straight down into the glove of Dan Mermel. Not Dan Mermel, that's Dan Lee. And that's the end of the second inning. On the Procar Automotive scoreboard, the Manly Eagles won. Lead the Ride Hawks 0. The Ralliers team are a small proud who take a proud personal and professional approach to the sale, installation and maintenance of their revolutionary rail glider systems. The Ralliers Rail Glider is the most innovative and unique incline access product on the market, offering smooth, quiet and rapid access to all properties on an incline. The Ralliers Rail Glider is the up-to-date solution for home access anywhere. To find out more, visit www.rallius.com.au. So it'll be Louis back leading things off for the Right Hawks, top of the third inning. That ball hard on the ground to Jalen Ray on the first pitch he sees. Razor doesn't make an issue with that one, and it's one pitch and one out in the top of the third inning. Back at the top of the lineup for the Hawks now, and it's Travis Pizzana. Flew out to Josh Beasley in the first inning, getting this game underway. One ball and one strike for Travis Pizzana. And curveball in the dirt by Josh Gessner. Gets the second out of the inning. Great pitch there. Josh trusting his curveball. And it's come up dividends. Second out of the third inning. Sorry for that silence. I just had 4 people come and tell me that my car lights were on. But I can't find my car key. So I might have to go on a bit of a mission to find it in a minute. Newer car though. Shouldn't kill the battery too quickly. Back to the ball game. Nick Dimmers struck out looking in the first inning. Will also give me a chance to go and get our special guest for the evening. Strike 2 on Dimmers. So 2 out. 0-2. Manly eager to get back into the offensive side of things and score some more runs against Ben McCandle and the Right Hawks. That pitch away. So 1 ball and 2 strikes for Nick Dimmers. Three and 1 now for Nick Dimmers. I had the count wrong, as usual. 1-0 to Ollie Stokes. And that pitch on the knees. Strike 2. So fills the count up. Guess I'm looking to finish this inning on this pitch right here. And that pitch hit hard, but foul. So another chance for Dimmers to get aboard. Extend this top of the third. If you don't hear me in the bottom of the third, don't be worried. I'm just looking for my car key. I'll be back as soon as I can. But for now, it's Nick Dimmers. 3-2 count. Gessner with the strike down the middle. Dimmers was hoping it was ball 4, but on this stage, it wasn't. That was right down the middle. And that's the third out of the top of the third. It'll be Gaz Matto to lead things off in the bottom half of the inning. So Gabs Matto, first out of this top bottom of the third inning. And Jalen Ray ahead 3 balls and no strikes. So McKendall again, just struggling to find his zone. And Jalen Ray will take the walk. Man, we'll have a base runner here to start this inning. So thankfully someone found my car key, but I had left it on and now the battery's flat. So if anyone at the NRMA is listening, you'll be getting a call at about 9:45 to come and jumpstart my car. So if you get it earlier, a couple of beers in it for you. Treg Habercorn lifting the first pitch foul. Now that I found my keys, I've lost my pen. Don't worry, it's in my hat. All the people around me are wondering, oh! Treg Habercorn hits it on the button. Line drive to Dan Lee at first base, and Wright haven't realised it's the third out. Jalen Ray doubled off. Treg Habercorn hit that absolutely hard. Dan Lee using all his reactions to catch it and steps on the base at first, and that finishes the third inning on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. Manly Eagles 1, Wright Hawks 0. So Josh Gessner's night is done. 3 innings in the books for him as he prepares to head back over to the States ahead of spring training with the Philadelphia Phillies. The Eagles are expecting one more start out of him, which will more likely come against the Cronulla Sharks on the road next Wednesday night. 3 innings, a couple of hits, but no runs against his name. No walks. And Manly have turned the ball over to the veteran James Miller, who on the 0-1 count hits the Ride manager Matt O'Neill in the leg. And the Ride Hawks have a runner aboard. None out here in the top of the 4th. So James Miller on the season, 5.97 ERA. That's through 28 2/3 inning of works. 23 runs, only 19 earned on 37 hits. 9 walks and 25 strikeouts. And he's behind here, 1 ball and no strikes on the Ride catcher Travis Tanaka. Tanaka with the only hit so far for the Hawks in this game. Fouls that ball over our heads for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Our dinner has arrived. These loaded spuds looks absolutely magnificent. The production crew are currently hurling into them. I'll try and get a couple down in between innings. Tanaka punches that ball into right field. Gaz Matto will wrap it up. And Matt O'Neill will move up to second base. So Tanaka 2 for 2 on the night. And the Hawks have 2 runners on with nobody out. So Tyler Schmidt for the Hawks saw 1 pitch from Josh Gessner and flew out to Treg Habercorn at centre field. Miller starts him with a strike. No balls and 1 strike for Tyler Schmidt. Very quick centre fielder. Only missed an inside the park home run against Manly after he missed third base. Looks like James Miller's going with the softly approach to Schmidt. Couple of change-ups so far. Schmidt shows bunt, pulls it away for ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 coming from Miller. Schmidt shows and drops the bunt, but it goes foul. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Schmidt coming up with the team or trying to come up with the team at bat there. Big ball lifted up into foul territory. Aidan Torpey with the catch. Jules Kremer hustling up the third to cover the base with Matt O'Neill standing on second. So 1 out. Tyler Schmidt being put out on both of his at-bats so far tonight, so the Eagles containing him. Showing his displeasure with the equipment bin in the dugout. So Miller looking to finish his inning off. Nice little double play. We'll certainly get that done here for the Eagles. He starts Daniel Mermel with a ball. 1 ball and no strikes for the Red Hawks third baseman. Mermel lifting that one. Should be a pretty simple play for Treg Habercorn. Matt O'Neill just checking it out, watches the catch and goes back to second base. And Jimmy Miller has 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. So Dan Lee will step in with 2 out. Turn that very quick double play to finish the bottom of the 3rd. So can he come up big for the Hawks again here? Drive in a tying run, possibly even a go-ahead. Miller down with ball 1. Habercorn tracking back for it. Gets underneath it, makes the catch. And that ends the top of the 4th, despite putting 2 runners on. James Miller gets a trio of fly balls to extinguish the threat. And the Eagles will head into the bottom of the 4th inning, leading 1-0. So Connor McDonald starts with a big hack. Fouling the ball back to the screen behind him. And Ben McKendall is ahead. On the lead-off for the Eagles, Connor McDonald. Connor hitting .327 through the season. 17 hits from his 52 at-bats. 7 runs scored, 8 doubles. A big home run here against Penrith just after Christmas. 12 RBIs. We're looking to add to those columns tonight. Be nice if you could add one in the home run column. See what he manages here against the hard-throwing Ben McKendall. 1 ball and 2 strikes now for Connor McDonald. Take a look around the State League action tonight. Canterbury Vikings lead 2-0 on Blacktown. So Canterbury, one of the teams that the Eagles are chasing for a top 4 berth. As McDonald goes up the middle. McKendall threw a foot at it, but Travis Bazana was right around it, and he throws Connor McDonald out at first base for the first out of the bottom of the 4th. Yeah, so the Vikings are sitting in 3rd, 2.5 games ahead of the Eagles, so the Eagles will be looking for some results against Canterbury to go their way. And then they're leading Blacktown 2-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Cronulla lead Borkham Hills 3-1. So Borkham Hills, who are in 4th place, another team being chased by the Eagles, as Aidan Torpey fires that one down to Dan Lee. And just like that, 2 pitches and 2 outs for the Manly Eagles. Dan Lee in the thick of the action here tonight. He's been involved in the last 4 outs of this game. 5 outs, actually. Matto grounding out. Let's make it the last 8 outs on the Ride defence. So Cronulla leading 3-1 over Borkham Hills. Which is a good sign for the Eagles. MacArthur 4-0 on top of Central Coast. That game up there at Baseball Park. Umazawa pulls that one, but only as far. No, it's gone past both Mermal and Bazana and into left field. So that'll be a 2-out hit for Yoshi Umazawa. So Nelson Phillips will bat with 2 out, and Yoshi Umazawa standing on first base. So the Eagles, with all to do here over the next 6 games, if they can win them out, they'll certainly be in a good place. Should a couple of other results go their way. That ball hit into right field, out of the stretch of Harry Mahoney in right field. Yoshi Umazawa is going to come all the way around third, and he's going to score Manly's second run of this game. It's exactly what Nelson Phillips tried to do in his last at-bat. That was caught by Dan Lee. This time he got more of it. He got all the way into the corner, away from Harry Mahoney, and it's a stand-up RBI 2-out double for Nelson Phillips. Eagles kicking ahead 2-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Good piece of hitting by Nelson Phillips. Missed a lot of baseball action after fouling a ball into his knee halfway during the season. But the patella's recovered, and the bat certainly hasn't gotten any softer. And he has given Manly a 2-0 advantage here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Jules Kremer now. He'll be looking for something similar. And knocking another run for the Eagles. A great piece of hitting by Nelson Phillips. That pitch just on the knees for Kremer. So no balls and 2 strikes for the Manly catcher. Nelson Phillips standing at second base. As time is called at the plate, Jules Kremer just needing an extra moment to control himself. That ball in the dirt. Doesn't get away from Tanaka, but he does corral it. Throws it down to Dan Lee at first base. And that will be the end of the 4th inning. But the Eagles get a run. And on the Procar Automotive scoreboard, they lead 2-0 after 4.
Do you need to swap this 6-pack for this 6-pack? Hi guys, Christina from Black Label Fitness here, and our awesome 8-week challenge is back. We launched 10th of February and applications are now open. We have helped transform hundreds of members' lives. So if you've had a few too many of these over the Christmas period, need to lose a few kilos, want to gain some extra muscle mass, now is the time to sign up. It takes 60 seconds. All you've got to do, click on the link below, sign up today, and you too can be our next success story. Come down to Black Label Fitness and see what it's all about.
So James Miller back out for the Eagles, top of the 5th. It's going to be Harry Mahoney, the right fielder, and a run a long way to clean up that Nelson Phillips RBI double. Lifts that ball up high. Umezawa and McDonald underneath it. And it'll be McDonald that makes the catch. 1 pitch and 1 out here for the Eagles. So 1 ball and no strikes for Louis back. Hitting here in the 9 hole with 1 out for the Hawks. And James Miller cleans up the little check swing. And that is the 2nd out of the top of the 5th. Miller with the 1-3. And I'll turn the lineup over for the very dangerous Travis Pizzana. So James Miller, 2 out, top of the 5th. Pizzana shows bunt. Keith Lane was about to call it strike, but then pulled out. So 1 ball and no strikes for Bazana. And that ball down for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Zana with the ground ball, straight back to Miller, over to 1, and on 6 pitches, the Eagles are out of the top of the 5th, and now we'll head into the bottom of the inning, looking to score some more runs. It'll be Josh Beasley, Gaz Matto, and Jalen Ray up to get the damage done. So Josh Beasley will lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. Manly with 2-0 lead. Josh Beasley takes ball 1. Start this at bat. That's the loaded potato talking there. Slowly getting through. Just finished off the mince portion. Got the chicken portion to go. So the youngster Beasley, 952 on the season. And the 173 average is only a reflection of what he is learning playing here regularly in first grade. And that would have been a heck of a play by Travis Bazana. The ball just not getting into the glove of Dan Lee at first base. Josh Beasley hustling his backside up there. It would have been a very close play. But Josh Beasley will be aboard with the hit. That'll be in the books as a single. Manly have their first base runner in the bottom of the 5th inning. Gabs Matto now takes strike 1. Yeah, Josh Beasley's average definitely not a reflection of how much he has grown as a ball player this season. Spent a lot of time doubling up into first grade, playing in the 18s on the Saturday, and then starting first grade as well. So he's certainly developing his skill set, and I expect that 173 to be backwards in a very short time. Definitely a 300 hitter by the looks of him. And Gaz Matto pulls that ball into left field just in front of Nick Dimmers over there. So Manly 2 on, none out, threatening here with the top of the order coming up in the form of Jalen Ray. J Ray definitely due a hit. Has been a little bit quiet of late. And Manly are going to go to their bench for a pinch runner in the form of Adam O'Neill. He'll replace Josh Beasley at second base. And Billy Green has charged the pitcher and the catcher for ride with a visit. Matt O'Neill will come out and question it. But Manly are threatening here in the bottom of the fifth. 2 runners on and nobody out. So Jalen Ray bats here with none out. Runners on first and second. And it's the speedy Adam O'Neill coming into the game. Gabs Matto also with a clean pair of heels. They'll both be looking to take every base possible. Jalen Ray fouls that ball off down the first baseline, but gets out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike now for Jalen. Leading the hitting for the Eagles and the league for 49. 31 from 69. Bats, 23 runs scored, a pair of doubles and a trio of triples. That ball hit in the hole on the right side. It won't be enough to score Adam O'Neill. Yes, it is. Harry Mahoney bobbling the ball in right field. I thought it was a regulation play. I'd given up on Adam scoring, but I looked over at Masserendo and he had the gate open. Adam O'Neill scoring Manly's 3rd run. And Jalen Ray with the RBI, and it's going to bring a visit from manager Matt O'Neill. And whilst that happens, we will welcome in one of the legends from the Warriors, Mr. Terry Hills.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
Terry, thank you for joining us. It's a very beautiful night for baseball here. Manly in a pretty good spot at the moment.
Lovely evening. No jackets required.
I was a bit worried when I realised I left my jumper at home this afternoon, knowing how chilly it can get late at night, but so far so good.
We have been known to say it's the coldest place on the face of the earth up here, but no, tonight's lovely.
Very nice night. So, which colour are you wearing tonight, maroon or red?
Well,
having spent time in both camps.
I've won 2 premierships as a coach at Manly and 6 premierships as a coach at Ryde. So it's a little bit tough, especially as the Manly toss side is wearing Warriors socks tonight, which we really appreciate, and it's a great sign to see. So I just hope the best team wins.
It's always the way, hoping baseball's the winner at the end of the day. So, Terry, for our viewers at home, tell us a little bit about the history of the Warriors.
Well, the Warringah Warriors had been playing in the first grade Manly Warringah Winter Competition for 37 years. We didn't have any original members left when the club folded a couple of years ago, but we did have David.
Sorry,
Linden
Terry, interrupt you there. Treg Havercorn, hard ground ball into right field. This time Harry Mahoney does the cleaning up. And that will load the bases for the Eagles. Still none out here in the 5th inning. And Matt O'Neill is going to make a pitching change, so we will get Terry back. Terry, sorry about that. Continue on.
Not at all. The club president, David Linden, has been with the club since 1982. And we struggled when I came to the club in 1990. Whilst the club was struggling, we had a lot of first-grade cricketers involved, but not a lot of baseballers. And over the years from 1990, we managed to bring in some baseballers. And in 1996, we won our first premiership. and we won. I beg your pardon. We had 16 grand finals in a row from 1996, and won 8 of them, which is probably not a great record, but we were very proud of our history.
50%, that's more than a pass. How many of those 8 were in consecutive seasons?
We had 4 in consecutive seasons once. We even had T-shirts made up for the 5th season. And, of course, as you do when you make an arrogant move like that, we got our bums kicked. So we own that. We tell people about it. We don't mind people knowing about it.
Are any of those shirts still in existence?
There are those shirts in existence. Michael O'Neill is wearing one tonight. We had them changed. They had 2000 to 2005 on them, and we crossed out 2005 and put 96 on there from when we won in 1996. So, yes, they are special T-shirts. There's only about a dozen of them still floating around, but I don't think they're worn too often.
I wouldn't think so, but it also is a handy piece of memorabilia.
Absolutely. I've bequeathed that shirt to Michael. He can have it.
He has reminded us for the last several weeks that he will be pulling that shirt out. He couldn't quite remember where it was at first, but clearly he found it, unless someone found one for him and gave it to him. Who were some of the standout players from the Warriors who may have gone on to bigger and better things in their baseball careers?
The standout player in our club was a guy by the name of Stephen Pacey, who played for Ryde and played for Manly. And if he hadn't had extra activities in his life, which I won't bore you with or embarrass Steve with, he would have played Major League Baseball. He was that good. I've never seen a shortstop make 8 plays into the hole. He was as good as Mark Shipley, who was well known, and he could bat. But we had a lot of guys. Jimmy Miller played for us, who's playing for Manly tonight. A lot of our guys were first, second, and third graders in Manly and Ryde. I had Darren Phillips, who played AA in the States for a while. I had Todd Nichols, who played college ball in the States.
Very handy player, Todd Nichols.
Very handy player.
As Connor McDonald lifts a broken bat single into left field. John Ray's going to turn the corner. He's going to head for home. And he will be in safely as the throw from Dimmers is offline and gets past the catcher, Travis Tanaka. Treg Habercorn moves up to third. Connor McDonald, another 2 RBIs for him. The new pitcher for the Ryde Hawks is Todd Van Steensel, the Sydney Blue Sox reliever. And on a couple of pitches, the Eagles have extended their lead. It's now 5-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. And we're going to have Aiden Torpey step up. Runners on the corners. Still nobody out for the Eagles. You're talking about Stephen Pacey.
Yes.
About how good he was in the hole. There's a couple of shortstops in this game who I think at their young age are certainly showing those similar characteristics that you speak of. Certainly Travis Bazzana, he's been everywhere tonight.
Of course, he's in the Australian squad, I believe.
And a very, very handy shortstop. As Adam Torpey fouls that one back. No balls and 2 strikes for the Manly third baseman. So Terry, sorry, interrupt, keep going.
Not at all. I don't think there's probably too many more names to pick out though. It was winter ball. It was good standard of ball, but we didn't produce anybody. We got players in.
Right.
Who were looking to play competitive ball.
Yep, definitely.
We pinched them out of grade, or we got them at Ryde. Guys like Adrian Carter, Joe Weller, were guys that came and played great baseball for us, and we always think of them. The club president, David Linden, pitched for us for a number of years and was an ace pitcher. Tom McKean, who's very well known, pitched for us.
Torpey going deep into this one, another foul ball.
It was a good standard of ball and very friendly. We always made a trip to the local Parkway Hotel and had, for those that know it,
which has been knocked down recently.
I'm sorry?
Which has been knocked down recently.
Much to my absolute disappointment. Another thing that was very disappointing, we lost Lincoln McClatchy this year.
Last year.
Last year,
Yes.
yes, in 2019.
Yep.
He was still playing baseball at 82.
He was incredible. Absolutely
And
incredible.
Lincoln and I were very close, and I miss him every day. It's a great pity.
I was certainly devastated when I did hear that news. To think he was still playing at 82 is certainly incredible for a man who just could throw the ball from the mound for days. And Torpy, another foul ball over our heads here. I certainly had the pleasure of watching the Warriors in my years as a baseballer still playing the game. I know my brother played with the Warriors for a couple of years towards the end of their tenure. And you only heard good stories to come out and a great camaraderie. I was certainly up at the Parkway on a number of occasions following ball games. Adam Torpy into the gap into right field. It's another one for Harry Mahoney. And that ball thrown across the diamond over to third baseman to Mermel. So Adam Torpy aboard, drives in Treg Habercorn. Manly Eagles now 6-0 here in the bottom of the fifth. And still nobody out. So Terry, how's the roll-up been tonight?
I've got to admit I'm a little disappointed. We got about 15 guys. I wanted 30.
Right.
I thought we might get that number, actually. I really did. I thought we advertised it really well and we got on to people and so forth. But the guys that have turned up were great guys that we've known for a long time, and we've enjoyed each other's company, and they've been. We're so excited that Manly put this on for us. We really appreciate the fact that they hold us in such esteem.
Very much so.
And I hope to do it again one time.
Right? If we can have it every year, that's certainly not a problem. And those players, obviously, that couldn't make it tonight will, have that opportunity in the coming years to make it, whether they've got to travel from interstate or, have got families or other commitments to juggle. Like you said, there was plenty of time to work around it, but this is certainly something that the club would love to make an annual thing, is to recognise the great minor league teams of past years. We had the Godfathers before Christmas. Unfortunately, we lost half of that night with the lights playing up. So maybe that was a spell of the Godfathers. Yoshi Umezawa batting here, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shown, bumped a couple of times, unable to get it down. So he's going to have to put the ball in play. Got Connor McDonald standing at second base. Aidan Torpy over at first. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Umezawa. Puts that ball on the ground. Bazana going to get a double play out of this one. Steps on the base. Throws over to first. And just like that, 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Sorry, Terry, I've lost my train of thought for now.
That's okay.
What are some of the best stories to come out of the Warriors over the years?
The best stories. The best stories are ones that I don't think I'd have on air. There's been
tell us something that you can tell us on air.
Incidents in Hardboard Diggers that is legendary, with Lincoln involved at that stage. I think the stories are just great grand finals, ones we've won and ones we've lost. There were 1 or 2 that we thought that we were going to win, and we got shown up by a side that was a better one on the day. You can never guess what's going to happen. But we've won game. We got beaten 28-0 at Narrabeen High before we got our baseballers into the side, which is a game I'll never forget. I said to the club president after that game, we'll never let this happen again. 28-0 was a bit tough. But we won one game about 30-0, I think, so it makes it very tough to pick one game after another out of 37 years.
Who were some of the toughest teams you faced in the minor league?
Easily DYRSL and the Godfathers.
Right.
They were the teams. I believe the night we're having tonight, Michael O'Neill was saying they might have a night for the DYRSL club.
Certainly been spoken about, but probably on the calendar for next season.
Yeah, there's a lot of great guys that played now. Alan Guilford, Simon Crombolome. they were certainly the toughest games that we played. Oh, and the Pittwater Roos in the early days, Wayne Pawson and Gary Pawson and so forth.
So Nelson Phillips down on strikes. That ends the big 5th inning for the Eagles. 6 runs scored. So after 5, it is the Manly Eagles 7. Right Hawks 0 on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. We'll stay here with Terry Hills, one of the legends from the Warringah Warriors baseball side. Terry, how did it come to be the Warringah Warriors?
I don't know. I can't help you with that one. I joined them in 1990. What a lot of people don't know about me is I actually spent 6 years with the Godfathers before.
So you're a trader?
Yes, before I joined the Warriors, and wasn't happy with the game time there. And so Lincoln and I were both in the Goddies, and we'd seen David Linden pitch, and we thought that might be a good club to get involved with. They needed some help learning the game and playing the game. And we arrived to the Warringah Warriors. That was what they were called. As I said, for the first for the first 3 years, we got flogged every week. In 1994, we made the semi-finals. In 1995, we made the grand final. And in 1996, we won our first premiership. Unfortunately, that's a story. The game was rained out, and we won it in the clubhouse. And the Pittwater Roos, who had the trophy, hid the trophy from me. They wouldn't give it to me.
As any smart team would. I always wondered how, being a Warringah junior coming up, my whole family based at Warringah, how it became to be the Warringah Warriors. Because when I was president of Warringah, I always wanted the club to be known as the Warringah Warriors. But with the Warriors already in existence, I thought it might have been an issue. But looks like the Warriors stole our name rather than us trying to steal the Warriors name.
I think it was. Well, the Warringah Warriors goes back to 1982 or 1983.
Right.
So I don't know about when the Warringah Baseball Club was.
1965.
65, there you go.
Yeah.
So I think it was just somebody just thought we're in Warringah and we'll call ourselves the Warriors. What do you think, boys? That type of attitude.
Because I know there are also a lot of ex-Warringah players like the Brants and those types of players that come through that played with Warringah as well. So maybe there was some sort of direction there, but
yeah,
we'll have to try and find out, I guess.
I think most of the guys we got, there's a few exceptions. Dan Hillier, Tim Brant, we pulled those guys out of lower grades in that and said, come and play first grade with us. They were, Tim Brant was one of the best defensive first basemen I've ever seen, and a good catcher. Dan Hillier won 6 fielding titles as a catcher for the club, and so forth. So, just going back to the name and the Warringah Club, there was talk one day, I met the Warringah president, of us joining the Warringah Club, but some of the older guys in our club didn't want that. They wanted to remain autonomous.
Yep, definitely.
And that was the end of that one.
So Nick Dimmers with the bunt single there, coaching Aidan Torpy unaware. First one aboard in the top of the 6th inning. It's going to bring up Matt O'Neill. Well, Terry, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you
very
very
much.
much
to have you here, and also the Warriors here celebrating their successes throughout the years, and we look forward to be doing it in the years to come here at Manly Eagles Baseball.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks, Terry. For Matt O'Neill for the Right Hawks. As Siri decides to get involved. And that pitch missing for ball 1. Just inside from James Miller. And that one down for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes. James Miller has 2 speeds when he's working on the mound. He'll either work really quick or he'll really slow it down. And it looks like it's the latter on this occasion, really slowing things down atop the mound. He's got a nil ahead, 3 balls and no strikes. And in the zone there for strike 1. So Miller looking to come all the way back. 3-1 to Matt O'Neill. Big thank you to Terry Hills for joining us in the booth tonight, giving us some history on the Warringah Warriors. Matt O'Neill down on the ground. Can't find it, Umazawa, but he gets it over to first base in time to get the hitter in Matt O'Neill out. Turned a little bit early to make the double play. Was a little bit anxious, but kept it close enough to his body where he was able to recover, get the ball over to Connor McDonald. 1 away here in the top of the 6th inning. So, of course, Wednesday night games are played to a 2.5 hour time limit. No new inning after 2 hours and 20 minutes. So we're looking at a 9:35 10-minute cutoff. So about 47 minutes remaining in this one tonight. We're in the top of the 6th inning. And it's Travis Tanaka taking what will look to be a James Miller change-up in the lower half of the zone for strike 1. Tanaka 2 for 2 on the night. Centre field into centre field and left field. That ball hit to Torpy at third base, but he isn't able to make a strong throw over to first. He didn't think he had it at first, picked it up and short-armed his throw over to first. Connor McDonald coming off the bag to clean it up, keep it in front of him, and Tanaka will be ahead. So he'll be aboard on the throwing error by Aidan Torpy. Had a good play to pick up the ball, but wasn't able to make a good throw across the diamonds. And Tyler Schmidt. Manly playing a little bit of Little League baseball here. Soft liner into right field off the bat of Tyler Schmidt. Gabs Matto didn't come up firing on the first occasion, then decided to throw it over to third base when he had absolutely no chance to get Travis Tanaka at third. Torpy then throwing it over the head of Umarazama into right field at second base, and that's going to allow the Ride Hawks to score 2, and Tyler Schmidt ends up on third base. So Massa Endo is going to come out and just calm down his team, get James Miller back on track. There is one out here. Manly enjoying a 6-2 lead now, right on the board for the first time. They'll just be wanting to get these last 2 outs and get the Manly bats back in action. That's going to be Dan Mermel. Takes ball 1 down. Was struck out looking in the second inning. Flew out to centre field in the 4th inning. Had some very long at-bats though. As he takes strike 1 from James Miller. 1 ball and 1 strike. Manly have Luke Brown and Zach McAllister warming up in the bullpen. Plenty of options for manager Massa Endo. And balls up over our head. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Mermel. Mermel, the third baseman tonight. And that one fouled off over the big screen into the clubhouse. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Thanks to Kerry Jackson for checking in. Thought my maths might have been out when I was talking about time, but it is a 7:15 start here at Aquatic. As Dan Mermel asks for and is granted time. Big thank you for everyone tuning in this evening. Unfortunately, our live chat is down tonight, so we'll get that rectified before the weekend. Could be a very simple issue. Speak to YouTube tomorrow and find out what it is. Another foul ball from Mermel. You can join us on Facebook and Instagram. Send us a message there. Any questions you have, ideas you might think will be worthwhile for us to bring into the live stream in our remaining 3, 6, 7 more games of the season. And another foul for Dan Mermel. So definitely making James Miller work for this out. Miller in his 3rd inning of work is in line for the win at this stage, but plenty of baseball left to be played. So the 1-2 from Miller. This is up and away. He's in the best part of the count to be able to do that. So 2-2 for Mermel. A ball hit foul and getting out of play. Still heaps of kids here in attendance chasing after that one. Mermel earning every dollar of his paycheck here in this at-bat. He isn't going to lie down for James Miller. That ball might stay in play. No, it is going to get out. No Manly players close enough to make a play on it. So I think that's 7 in a row now for Dan Mermel. So another 1-2 to come from James Miller. Ground ball will be a potential RBI for the Ride Hawks. Curveball up, lifted this time. Kremer moving underneath it. McDonald coming across, makes the catch. Second out of the inning, so very good at bat by Dan Mermel, but James Miller showing his experience. Just doing enough to get Mermel to pop out, and that's the second out of this 6th inning. Unfortunately, our camera didn't have the angle on that one. But we can confirm that Connor McDonald made the catch. 2 out now here in the top of the 6th inning. The first baseman on both sides being kept very busy. And that pitch missing down for ball 1. Big swing and miss from Darren Lee. 1 ball and a strike now for the Ride first baseman. Up and away, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Miller just working the zone. Trying to tempt Dan Lee into a mistimed swing. That pitch in the perfect spot for a swing and a miss from Mermal. So 2-2 for James Miller. 1 strike away from ending this inning. And getting Jules Kremer, Josh Beasley and Gabs Matto back in action in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And he does that very much so with the change-up. So a shaky inning for the Eagles. A couple of errors allowing right off the hook, giving up the shutout. But the Eagles lead 6-2. And the 3 names I just mentioned, Jules Kremer, Adam O'Neill, in fact, and Gabs Matto will come up in the bottom half of the 6th inning. So Tom Van Stencil back out for the Right Hawks. So Van Stencil starts with the strike on Jules Kremer. Foul ball. Just bouncing foul. Bouncing up off the plate. So no balls and 2 strikes for the Manly catcher. The Eagles will be wanting to get a couple of those 2 runs back that Ride scored in the top of the 6th, and maybe a couple more. Adam O'Neill waiting on deck for the Eagles. Kremer punches it, but foul up the right field line. And will swing a miss and strike out to start the bottom of the 6th. So Adam O'Neill will bat. Adam was a pinch runner for Josh Beasley earlier in that big 5-run 5th inning. And he takes the first pitch from Todd Van Steensel for strike 1 on the knees. So 0-2 for Adam O'Neill. And that pitch straight down the middle for strike 3. And that's the second out of the bottom of the 6th. And bring up Gabs Matto with 2 out. Him and Josh Beasley got things started in the previous inning. So we'll hope they can do something similar in this one. Missing inside for ball 1. And up for ball 2. So Matto ahead, 2-0. Van Steensel not happy with the ball. Throws it out of play. It's not the ball's fault. It's just a little white round thing with some red stitches on it. Matto thinking that might have been on inside and taking it, but it was called a strike by Keith Lehman. So 2-1. Matto fouling that one off, evening up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Looks like Todd's going to get back the same ball he just threw out. So 2-2 and 2 out here for Gabs Matto. Number 9 hitter of the man in the order. Jalen Ray waiting on deck. Check swing by Matto. Extends the at bat. And that is inside for strike 3. Gabs Matto not happy. Thought about marking it, but you know what would have happened if he did. So after 6 innings, Manly Eagles 6 lead the Riot Hawks 2 on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. Seventh Day Brewery is the Northern Beaches' youngest up-and-coming craft brewery and tap house. Conveniently located in the heart of Brookvale, the big-hearted venue with a thirst for excellence brings a fresh vibe to the craft beer scene, one small batch at a time. The tap house showcases their core and seasonal offerings with currently 7 beers on tap, 5 of which are their core. Seventh Day is open all weekend, so why not head down after the ball game and enjoy a refreshing ale or two. Seventh Day Brewery, proud supporters of Manly Eagles baseball. So Ryder going to send in a pinch hitter. It's going to be Luke Livian for he's going to hit for Harry Mahoney. And on the mound, the pitching change will be Zach McAllister. 23.2 innings pitched, 3.04 ERA with 20 hits, 10 runs, Only 8 earned, 26 strikeouts and 14 walks. We'll be looking to close this out for the Eagles. Top of the 7th here. He starts with Luke Livian, strike 1. Ball in the dirt. 1 ball and a strike for Livian. And Livian goes up the middle. Start this 7th inning off for the Hawks. And it's going to be Seb Matthews to hit for the right Hawks now. So Matt O'Neill going to his bench. One for 13 in first grade. Seven strikeouts to his name in those 13 at-bats. Zach McAllister will be looking to add to that tally. Or better still, get a ground ball and give himself 2 quick outs as he fouls that ball off for strike 2. So McAllister ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. And a big swing and a miss for Seb Matthews. He goes down on strikes. And just what Zach McAllister wanted, he gets. And it will be the 8th strikeout for Seb Matthews. But it does turn the lineup over for the Hawks. And go back to Travis Bazana. 0 for 3 tonight. Very rare for Travis Bazana to have an O spot. So we'll certainly be looking to pick up a hit here. McAllister misses up for ball 1. Checking in around the grounds. Vikings still lead Blacktown 4-3. That game's in the 5th. Cronulla 10-2 over Borkham Hills. And McAllister comes back with a strike. 1 ball and a strike now for Trav Bazana. And MacArthur 10-0 on the Central Coast up there at Baseball Park. So at least one result in Manly's favour at the moment. McAllister missing up high for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Bazana 429 hitter on the season. 33 hits, 25 runs scored. 3/4 of the time he gets on, he scores. Three and 1 now for Bazana. Also has a pair of doubles, 3 triples and a home run. And McAllister misses up for ball 4, so a 1-out walk. Puts runners on first and second for the Hawks. Puts the tying run in the form of Matt O'Neill on deck. And it'll bring up Nick Dimmers Dimmers bunted last time to start the 5th. Torpy in on the grass this time. Dimmers squares. McAllister misses low. Ball 1 for Dimmers. Dimmers will be looking for a strike to drop down. Move his runners over to 2nd and 3rd. Pulls it back on this occasion for strike 1. 1 ball and a strike now for Dimmers. Dimmers with only a sacrifice fly to his name on the season. That ball called foul off this running bunt attempt for Dimmers. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nick Dimmers with a job to do here behind in this count against McAllister. McAllister with a job to do here with the very speedy Dimmers at the plate. And 2 runners on base looking to score and cut into this Manly Eagles 6-2 lead. And that is ball 2 outside. Jules Creamer with a check down to first. Trav Bazana back in time. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now for Zach McAllister on Nick Dimmers. Jalen Ray keeping Luke Livian close over there at 2nd. As Nick Dimmers fouls that 2-2 pitch off to the back screen. So another 2-2 pitch coming from Zach McAllister. Dimmers struck out looking twice against Gessner. Fouls off that 2-2 from McAllister. So going deep into this count, and that ball hits a car behind us in the car park. Not often you hear that, but that ball was hit pretty flat out of the ground over our heads and into a panel. So the 2-2 coming from McAllister. Swing and a miss. Gloved by Kremer, but it's academic because Trav Bazana stands at first base, and that's the 2nd out of the inning. And Massa Endo is going to come out and have a quick chat with Zach McAllister. Just make sure he's cool, calm and collected. Matt O'Neill's certainly known for pulling a rabbit out of a hat in these types of situations. Very experienced campaigner and can certainly come up trumps when his team needs it. So the plate meeting is done with. Zach McAllister 1 out away from getting Manly back in action and closing out this game for the Eagles. Checking the swing there, but Billy Green says no. 1 ball and no strikes. Fly out the hit by pitch and a ground out for O'Neill tonight. Officially 0 for 2 and on base once. Be looking for his first hit of the night. Potentially with an RBI attached to it. McAllister looking for his third out of the inning. And he gets in there with a strike. 1 ball and a strike now for McAllister on Matt O'Neill. Deathly silence here at the ballpark. A lot of the kids have gone home to bed before school tomorrow. Still a lot of the Warriors up in the clubhouse, hoping Manly can finish this one off. Matt O'Neill swinging at the 1-1, now behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 pitch away from getting it done. And that just missing outside. Big pitch. Manly wanted it. Ride cheering when it was called the ball. McAllister will get another opportunity. Good spot to miss by Zach McAllister. Puts it in the dirt. Runners will move up 90 feet. Jules Kremer stops it from going to the back fence. So it's going to be a ball to load the count. Good block there by Jules Kremer. Kept it from disappearing to the back net. Luke Livian, who is fast enough to take 2 bases. Matt O'Neill now facing the 3-2 from Zach McAllister. Misses low for ball 4. That's going to load the bases. And it's going to bring up the very dangerous Travis Tanaka. Two for 3 on the night, reaching on all 3 occasions. The third one on an error charged to Aiden Torpy. He's going to bat with the bases loaded. He represents the tying run in this ball game. And McAllister just missing out wide for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Put to be in a hitting count. Shohei Ariyama going up to the bullpen for the Eagles. That pitch missing further outside. So 3-0 for Tanaka. Will he have the green light? Will he be taking? I reckon he'll be taking. McAllister needs to earn the swing. And he comes back with the strike. He'll be taking all the way here. I don't think Tanaka swings at this one. As good as a hitter he is. He knows there's a run sitting behind him. But he does. He lifts it high into the sky. Adam O'Neill underneath it. Makes the catch in left field. And that's a huge out for the Manly Eagles. Dangerous Travis Tanaka. Could have cleared the bases there. But Zach McAllister battles all the way back from 3-0 down in that count. And he gets the fly ball into left field to end the top of the 7th inning. Manly Bats will be back into action when we return. So pitching change for the Right Hawks. They've gone to another Blue Sox pitcher in the form of Luke Wilkins. He's going to face Jalen Ray, top of the Eagles lineup, bottom of the 7th here. And Jay Ray hacks at the first pitch from Wilkins for foul 1, for strike 1. Inside for ball 1, 1 ball and a strike. Wilkins, 4 appearances for the Hawks, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 9 struck out with no walks. And that one away for ball 2. So 2 balls and a strike for Jalen Ray. Wilkins, a member of the Australian Premier 12 side, as well as the Sydney Blue Sox, whose season wrapped up last weekend. That ball laser into the dugout, over the heads of all the players in there, thankfully. Bouncing off the beam at the top, straight back into the field, and straight back onto the mound. So 2-2 for Ray. Felt that thud off the beam from here. Long pause by Wilkins on top of the mound, trying to get his signal from Tanaka. Jalen Ray asking for time. And a ball hit to the third baseman, Mermel. Gets it on a couple of bobbles, throws it in the dirt and picked up by Dan Lee at first base. And it's going to be a ground out for Jalen Ray. Good pick in the dirt from Dan Lee. Very busy over there. Six put-outs and a couple of assists for Dan Lee. It's going to be the Manly centre fielder, Treg Habercorn. Takes strike 1 from Luke Wilkins. Manly with no one up in the bullpen, getting ready for the 8th inning, just in case. And Habercorn lifts that one into left field, but Dimmers is underneath it. And that's the second out of this bottom of the 7th. So 2 out will be Connor McDonald. Blue Sox teammates. And that pitch just on the knees, enough for Keith Lehman to say strike 1. Kind of batting with a new bat after breaking his bat earlier. So McDonald behind, no balls and 2 strikes. And that pitch a little high from Wilkins. Curveball just not finding its spot. Just missing inside. And that one's there though, and that's strike 3. Caught looking is Connor McDonald. That finishes the 7th inning. We head to the top of the 8th. Manly Eagles 3 outs away of putting this one into the books on the Procar automated scoreboard. They lead 6-2. Devitt Wholesale Meats is a traditional butcher shop first opened in 1976 by the Driver family. They have worked hard to keep Devitt's reputation for quality, service and value and have a large staff of fully qualified butchers. Butchery is a craft and cooking is a passion, and the two go hand in hand. The team are awesome, friendly, knowledgeable, and talented, and they are invested making sure you are completely happy with your purchase and feel a genuine responsibility to the discerning community, as they are the gateway from the farm to the table. Devitt Meats source product from farms across the east coast of Australia and respect the product and share a dedication to responsible animal husbandry and wholesome sustainable practices. The factory is fully certified and are committed to keeping the equipment and transport up to date and in top working order. Devitt Meats are proud supporters of Manly Eagles baseball. So we're in the last inning here at Aquatic Ballpark. And the Eagles enjoying a 6-2 lead over the Red Hawks. And it's going to be Tyler Schmidt to lead things off. 1 for 3 on the night. And he takes the first pitch from Zach McAllister, fouling it into his foot and up the line. He's behind, no balls and 1 strike. So McAllister really looking for a shutdown inning here. Change up upstairs from McAllister, gets a big swing from Schmidt, and he's behind, no balls and 2 strikes. In the dirt for strike 3. And it's going to be an interesting call here. That ball bouncing off the bat of Tyler Schmidt when it was thrown away. Jules Kremer not able to get the throw in time up to first base. Keith Lehman conferring with Billy Green. Probably just going to go down as an accident. Nothing you can really do. Entitled to throw the bat away. It's not a deliberate act. I expect Tyler Schmidt to be awarded first base. It's the right call. Going to be a discussion here with Massa Endo. So it will be Tyler Schmidt on first base. Jules Kremer not happy with the call, but it is the right one. So Tyler Schmidt stands at first base. It's going to be Dan Mermel to bat. Shohei Ariyama has gone up to the bullpen as the insurance policy for the Eagles. McAllister starts Mermal with the fast ball, strike one. Grand ball to Torpy at third, to Umazawa at second, and picked out of the dirt, but Billy Green calling safe at first. Close call at first base. Mermal showing all his speed to get up there. Just not in time. Good strong throw from Umazawa across his body. McDonald stretching to help his teammate get the out, but it was to no avail. But the Eagles get the lead off in the form of Tyler Schmidt, and they do have one out. McAllister missing down. So it's Dan Lee now. Second ball down low for ball two. And we'll finish in the day 0 for 4. Check back over at first in time. Strike one on Dan Lee. 2 balls and 1 strike. Dan Lee lifting that high up into right field. Gabs Matto making a play over in right field. Makes the catch. Dan Mermal, though, moves up to second base. Mean very little with 2 out here. The Right Hawks behind by 4. Good play by Gabs Matto to get over to it. And that is the second out. Gabs just running out of the screen to make that catch. Can confirm that it was caught. That's the second out of this inning. So ball in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes for Luke Livian, replacement for Harry Mahoney in right field. So the 2-0 here for Luke Livian, 2 out here. Top of the 8th inning, the curveball in for a strike. Beautiful pitch by McAllister. Livian didn't want a bar of it. Threw his head up in disgust. So 2 balls and a strike for McAllister. Livian singling into centre field when he led off the 6th inning. Straight back up the middle. The ball just sitting down on Jalen Ray. Went underneath his glove. So Livian with 2 hard hit balls tonight. 2 hits. Ride looking to rally here. And it's going to be a pinch hitter in the way of Cameron Duffield. Number 9 hole hitter looking to turn the lineup over and give the Ride Hawks one last chance to win this, or to at least go ahead. Under 18 product for the Ride Hawks. 0 for 4 in his 7 appearances with 1 run scored. 1 ball and a strike for Cameron Duffield. And that's on the knees to strike 2. So Zach McAllister and the Manly Eagles 1 pitch away from a very important victory here in round 16 of the New South Wales State League. And he does get it in the form of a swing. Zach McAllister striking out Cameron Duffield. The Manly Eagles 6-3 winners in this one. They move to 12-13-1 on the season. Some great hitting by the Eagles. Everyone getting a hit through the lineup. Josh Gessner, 3 innings to start it. James Miller, 3 innings in middle relief. And Zach McAllister surviving a little bit of a jam in the 7th. Got out of it and got some support in the last inning to get the last 3 outs. Held his nerve on top of the mound. Has pitched very well for Manly, especially when Manly are in front. And he steered them to the win, picking up the save in this one. So the Manly Eagles 6, Ride Hawks 3. James Miller getting the win. Ben McKendall picking up the loss, and it will be Zach McAllister with the save. We'll be back here on the weekend, live and exclusive at 9:15, with the 3rd grade due to kick off at 9:30. 2nd grade will be underway at midday, and 1st grade 2:30 start. It is Legends Day here at the ballpark, so all the former great Manly baseball players will be in attendance, similar to the way the Warriors were tonight. We look forward to having them, and we look forward to you tuning in on the live stream if you can't make it to the ball game on Sunday. Thanks for joining tonight. Big thanks to Ollie Stokes, Andrew Logue. I'm Luke Eisenhower. Good night.